Hello there, everybody. How you guys doing today? Alright. So, been a little bit once again. Sorry, Thanksgiving business has kind of kept me rather busy for the past while. Well, past few days, I should say. Excuse me. As well as doing, just kind of various other things here and there. Happy to get back to some more not for broadcast, though. Been looking forward to playing this again. I will say, today might be a bit of a shorter stream. And I only say that because my stomach has been kind of bothering me for like the past maybe couple hours. So, that's always fun, right? So yeah, that's kind of why the stream took a little bit longer to start as well. Because, no one likes having a rough stomach when they're streaming. Makes things a little bit less fun. Anyone who's had an upset stomach when they stream, or even just in general, knows how it can be not very bueno. So, yeah. That's kind of why the stream took a little bit longer to start. Plus, just a couple of things I had to sort out. So, no, today might be a bit of a shorter stream day. I'm not really too sure. Even if it is, it just means I'll have more time to render, because I haven't, edit stuff and render, because I haven't really had much chance to do that either for the past few days. Honestly, I'm not even too sure how much more we have left in this game, for the moment, until more comes out. So I suppose we'll just have to see. Either way, it's time for my webcam to go off, and we shall continue the game. Oh! So I can just use the mouse wheel, but how do I knew I could do that, but for some reason never really clicked. Like, exactly what I mean by that. So I can probably move it up and down, but can I really, like, mess with the waveform really all that much? Hey there, River, welcome back to the stream. How you doing today? Hopefully you're doing quite well. Day 232, segment 1. Now give me just one small second here. Just one small sec. Sorry, one sec. Alrighty. Doing okay? Well, that's good to hear, River. I'm very glad to hear that. How come I don't hear anything? Wait, how come I don't hear anything in the game at all? Wait, what? What? Wait, what? I mean, I hear this. How come I don't hear anything like in the game proper? This seems incorrect. I guess we'll, Do I need to maybe reload it? I don't know, I've not had this problem before. That's kind of weird. I'm very confused. Oh, I don't have my fucking audio on. I don't have that going. Okay, I'm the dumb one here. See? I forgot I had to do that. Okay. Okay, now it makes sense. Now it makes sense. Now it all makes sense. It's all my fault. All my fault. Yeah, I'm glad you're doing okay. River, have any plans today? Do anything fun? Banana paradise. Hopefully the audio is good, by the way. Of course, if it's not, everybody feel free to let me know. I don't know. I always get you guys know me. I always get paranoid with audio. It's the one thing I get paranoid about the most in this, with them streaming. It's not like, oh, will the game run proper? Oh, does everything look good visually? The one thing I always stress about with streaming is, does it sound good? Is the audio fine? Yeah, see, River knows very well how much of a pain in the ass audio is. I can deal with pretty much anything else. Everything else perfectly fine. But when it comes to audio, it's like, shit. Fuck that. I hate it. I hate it. If I had the ability...
Oh, you're fired.
...to hire someone to take care of that for me, I would definitely do it.
Facial sabotage?
Jenny,
Problem?
I want her fired today, now.
Don't worry,
You fight with audio every time?
It won't
Dude.
be all right, Kat.
I fight with audio every time, and I cry every time.
Get out.
You realise you're beginning to sound like me?
I mean it, Kath.
Stay where you are, Kath. Jenny?
This is not Jenny's decision, Jeremy, or yours.
Well, damn, that's kind of...
I'll talk to both of you.
Oh, good. You can tell him I'll return his wife's casserole dish at our dinner next week. Jenny?
I'm sorry, Kath, you're gonna have to leave.
Huh, this is
Letting
interesting.
it go to your head.
She nearly blinded
10
me.
seconds,
I thought we were all
everybody.
part of a team these days.
Things are better, Jeremy, you know that. Just stop being so
You're in
high-mighty
5,
and do your job.
You'll
4,
have me fired too.
3.
Don't tempt me.
Alright.
Good evening. I'm Megan Wolf.
And I'm Jeremy Dawes. Our main headlines tonight.
The establishment strikes back. The World Council has agreed today to impose punitive sanctions on the people of this country.
The sanctions, which are broad-ranging, include restrictions on the supply of oil and gas, food, clothing, and even some medicines. But how should we react? We asked the public.
Fuck sanctions,
What is your
dude.
reaction to the sanctions?
Well, it's fucking outrageous. My mom needs insulin. Am I supposed to get her transitioned? What's the government doing about it? Eh?
Thanks, Patrick.
Very nice.
Fascinating stuff. Thanks, Patrick.
Popular Prime Minister Julia Salisbury has released a reassuringly brave statement in response to the World Council's controversial announcement.
This international declaration is nothing short of outrageous.
Oh,
We are
shit.
a democratically elected government with massive popular support. We do not recognise these sanctions. And we encourage other socially progressive nations of the world to both resist and ignore them. Advance have struck fear into the heart of the international community,
Wait, what?
showing that it is
Well, I know what I'm doing wrong.
change for the betterment of the many.
Okay, well, we're just gonna redo that one completely. We're gonna redo that one completely. I was messing around with the mouse wheel just to see exactly how much the mouse wheel kind of took care of it. And yeah, I just moved it up and down. Maybe, I don't know, because I do have like a tilt in my mouse wheel. At least I think I do. Yeah, it looks like I do. I'm not real. I don't know. I'm not really too sure how to make it longer or shorter. I mean, it doesn't matter. I'll just use my pointer. Doesn't really matter too much. Do 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 do. All right. All right. So let's actually do this proper. No more playing around. We got this.
Problem? I want her fired today, now. Don't worry, Kath. No, it won't be all right, Kath.
Oh, look, we got a get well soon card.
Destruction and
Oh, what's this?
You realise you're beginning to sound like me?
Protective equipment must be worn. No unauthorized
Stay
personnel.
where you are, Kath.
Jenny, this is not Jenny's decision, Jeremy, or yours.
Alright, so it's June now. Yeah, I haven't been paying attention to the calendar, have I?
I'll return his wife's casserole dish at our dinner next week.
Oh, and I haven't done this either. Crazy Neil. I mean, I feel like we gotta do Crazy Neil. Let's have Tool for Every Man in the Summer. Must be played. Sports board.
She nearly blinded me.
10 seconds, everybody.
Yeah, we'll throw Crazy Neil in. We'll do sports board and we'll do advanced. Oh, shit. 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 Okay, hold up.
Good evening. I'm Megan Wolf.
And I'm Jeremy.
Well, fuck.
Our main headlines tonight.
I lost the VCR.
Strikes back. The World Council
Sports
has
board,
agreed
the
today
board
to
game,
impose
though.
punitive sanctions on the people of this country.
The sanctions, which are broad-ranging, include restrictions on the supply of oil and gas.
But okay, we can skip a Crazy Neil video for this one time.
We asked the public.
What are your reaction to the sanctions?
Oh, I gotta do a thing.
Outrageous. My mom needs insulin. Am I supposed to get her transitioned? What's the government doing about it?
This one has to be played, so we'll play that one.
Popular Prime Minister Julia Salisbury.
Why do I have a broken VCR? How'd that happen?
Statement in response to the World Council's controversial announcement.
Can I get a new one?
This international declaration is nothing short of outrageous. We are a democratically elected government with massive popular support. We do not recognize these sanctions, and we encourage other socially progressive nations of the world to both resist and ignore them.
There we go. See, we're doing it. We're doing it this time.
Struck fear into the
Yeah,
hearts
look at
of
that,
the
easy.
international community by showing that it is possible to have radical change for the betterment of the
Man, that
world.
wasn't. That didn't give me much time, did it?
Whilst I wish we could improve other countries as much as we have our own, we do not rely on the help of others to thrive. This country is entirely self-sufficient. We are a team, now more than ever. And this team is on your
shit.
side. Thank you.
Defiant stuff. But what do you, the public, think of our government's stance? Robin Shaw.
You know what? We'll say it's
I
bad.
was wondering if you could tell me what you think of the government.
What? That shower of iridescent pricks? Punishing success and rewarding laziness? They're taking this country down the...
Zan, I feel like Advanced is probably a very evil corporation.
My wife Iris, she
Well,
agrees.
government.
A Flard Day's night. Following the release of the Flard Master 5000, production of Flards are at an all-time high, requiring the new manufacturing facility in Grizzleford to move to 24-hour-a-day production.
With people finding more and more uses for the ever-versatile Flard.
Yeah, you know, we'll give Florida a good go. We'll give Florida a good rep.
So, is there anything better than a handful of Flards? We asked Patrick.
I don't know what Florida is.
Patrick?
Do you have an opinion of Flards at all?
Oh my god, I love Flards. Doesn't everyone? Do you even remember when we didn't have Flards and we had to rely on verbs? I'd never go back.
Dude, I never want to go back either. I
A
love
momentary
Florida.
lapse of reason. Commuters across the capital found themselves somewhat bemused by the latest stunt by controversial protest group Disrupt.
In a baffling start to the day, commuters found performers outside every major station, all dressed and posed identically. Whether we're supposed to be amused or intimidated is anybody's guess, Jeremy.
We'll give this one a good pass.
Stop to notice.
Well, as long as it's not some grand contemporary dance, it's probably harmless.
But how do we all feel about Disrupt and their eclectic tactics? Robin found out.
How do you feel about disrupt?
Oh, well, now you're talking. Ruddy hero, showing us not to take it lying down like Iris here.
So
Okay,
you
well.
both feel they're a cause worth supporting?
Well, Iris doesn't speak on mine, but we're pretty sure there's still one in there, aren't we, love?
Okay, that's pretty rude, honestly.
Disrupt, fighting the yoinks for our freedom. And what could possibly be wrong with that?
Do you need me to get you some help?
Bubbling up.
Alright, that was really interesting.
Dr. David Wong and Dr. Ingrid Sforsborg and Hawkinsford today sent a blueprint of the escape craft in which they hope to finally leave Dante's taint.
Oh yeah, they're still in Dante's taint. That's right.
Running the gamut from optimistically engineered to that looks like something my granddad made in his shed. It sounds like the unfortunate team are going to need all the thoughts and prayers.
We'll give them hope. We'll give them hope.
What should we think about the escape plan? Patrick Bannon again.
Yeah, we'll give them hope. I think it's a good plan.
So I'd imagine that you think this is a great plan.
Oh my god! How did you know? It's a brilliant idea. I hope everyone gets behind them so that they know that we're with them. In spirit, of course. I can't actually go diving because I'm scared of salt.
I wonder if that's actually a fear. Are people scared of salt? Some people.
Applications finally open today for the new Advanced Team Membership Cards, a scheme by the government to allow fast access to all the new public services being introduced daily.
The team membership cards are entirely voluntary, but will be recognised as legal identification by all major organisations, including the police, banks, and, rightfully, pubs and bars.
Of course, there's no charge, Jeremy.
It all seems too good to be true.
Well, you've always been a cynic. But most importantly, what
We'll give this one a meh.
think about the new team membership cards?
Team membership cards?
I don't really join things as a rule. As Mother always said, membership is mostly for unmentionables, Malcolm.
And finally tonight, back
Okay,
on the net,
interesting.
popular sports personality Johnny Hamsleeves.
Oh, Johnny
and
Hamsleeves.
fiancée Tiffany Lamore was
My
spotted
boy.
today doing a little shopping for what many are already calling the greatest wedding ever.
We can only assume that Tiffany's latest show, My
I mean,
Teenage Secretion,
we gotta
was
give
better than
my boy
expected.
Johnny
And by the
Hamsleeves
looks of
the
things,
super
whole
smiley
affair
face
could
dude.
become more expensive than Little C's shoe collection.
I don't know who that is.
But what should your opinion be of this extravagant display of wealth?
Oh my god, fantastic!
Wise words there.
Oh, all right,
A bit
perfect.
of a switcheroo, it'll be Jeremy in the culture chair, spitting rhymes with popular rapper Jay Zus. And then we'll both be
Jesus.
talking with a familiar team of thespians set to take the nation by storm again.
That's all coming up on tonight's National Nightly News.
Oh shit. Yeah, we're doing it. We're doing it good. I'm so glad that weird. What was it? What was it called again? Snuggle hugs or something? I'm glad that was just a dream. I'm glad that wasn't real and was only confined to my nightmares.
First tonight, thankfully, some news as we return to our main story.
The World Council today agreed that punitive and potentially illegal sanctions should be imposed upon this country. The sanctions, which come into effect immediately, aim to stop the flow of food, fuel, and even some medicines from reaching your pockets.
Tonight, we have guests
okay.
from across the continent to discuss this unprecedented situation. For Advance, Peter Clement is at his home in Lamfordshire. Are you there, Peter?
Yes, I can hear you, Jeremy. Thank you for having me.
A momentous day, Prime Minister. Are you shaken?
Oh, I don't scare that easy, I'm afraid, old son. And neither do the people of this country.
Well, joining us is Ivan Vodovich, Foreign Minister of Urkistan. Ivan, thank you for being here.
Great pleasure. You, Megan Wolf, are like strongest guard at Labour camp who wake up inside body.
I see. A very. Oh, he even has a bear right there. Okay, that's badass.
You will be worshipped as a god.
Okay. Minister, as one of those arguing most strongly for these sanctions, how do you feel about Advance's defiant stance?
Advance is like man who think he have big career in movies land, when actually he in dirty sanitarium, screaming at mirror and holding tiny penis in hand.
Oh, okay. Penis. How come not censoring that?
Some of the cleanest mental health facilities.
Also, I didn't realize it was a guy. Thought it was a girl. Not gonna lie.
Svenland's Minister of Mojo, Björk. I'm sorry, we don't appear to have your surname.
Just Björk, yeah. We don't use things like socially divisive surnames here, yeah.
Minister?
It's just Björk, yeah.
Right,
Right, Mr. Björk.
Your country spoke in favour of Advance at the World Council today, but you were noticeably absent when it came to the actual vote.
Well, what a surprise. The hippies didn't show up for the fight.
Actually, that's quite racist, because if you must know, we were going to go to the whole, voting year, but it's actually the Festival of Feuerland here at the moment, where we honor the old generations. So, we all had to lurk our grandparents' Gleania whilst the vote was happening, and that's, a really, really time.
I like that guy. Not gonna lie, he seems interesting.
Sissy man. You have this expression, sissy man.
You're not allowed to say sissy anymore.
Who like to wash more than once a week.
Actually, that's quite homophobic, yeah, because...
Oh, stop
Yeah.
winding him up, Ivan. We're not back at the Grange now. Sorry, Jeremy. Ivan and I used to play golf back in my media days.
Yeah, he always wins.
Nothing gives him greater pleasure than grinding people's gears. The more publicly, the better.
Peter, you're like man with tiny penis who think he has...
Tiny penis. I like this guy too.
He discovered that... Oh, could it be? No, it's tiny penis.
Ivan's just worried that
All right,
when the rest
interesting.
of the world sees how well we're doing, they'll notice all that dosh that he's got squirreled.
Dosh?
Because that's what
Man,
these sanctions are,
is this
Megan.
killing floor?
They're the last pathetic gasp of an establishment in collapse.
I don't know, man. That used to be my favorite voice line. Dosh, money, money, money.
In Svenland, we have, serious...
Man, I need to play Killing Floor again. And Killing Floor 2. Killing Floor 2 is really fun as well.
For killing a butterfly that was hovering over her heel thing. I mean, in English, jam sandwich.
I used to know a girl called Jam Sandwich. She was a right cracker too. Wonder what became of her.
We seem to be wandering a little from the news here.
Human interest, Jeremy.
Little bit.
The real people behind the headlines and all that. So if you're watching, Jan, give us a call. Yeah. Let's see if we can't organise a reunion.
Crash, I'm not sure about that. I'll have to run it past Mrs. Clement first, eh?
Peter, you're like man trying to empty ashes...
I think I'm doing overall a pretty good today with this.
Tiny penis.
Tiny penis.
In Svenland, we don't really go in for all that restricted monogamy stuff here. We're kind of fluid, actually.
Okay, well, it seems that we are running out of time.
Yes, so before we go to the break, briefly, if you would, gentlemen, with the people of this country facing shortages and
Possible shortages and power outages.
Oh.
Yes, of course.
Actually, they're still really trying to keep it on the down low, huh?
Summarize your thoughts for us, Minister Beard.
Well, from here, you all...
Yeah, I was hoping they'd let me switch it soon.
About outdated devices, concepts like money.
Money.
We replaced currency with a system of bodily fluids back in the 1970s,
Oh.
and that's a really hard to sanction, actually.
How would that work?
Thank you, Minister Votovich.
Your country is like man who think he invented perfect trap for giant Newton...
How would you make fluids a currency? Bodily fluids?
Holding his tiny penis, yes. Thank you, Minister. And finally, Prime Minister Clement.
Let me talk to your viewers here, Jeremy. Don't worry, everybody. Don't be afraid. Don't even lose a wink of sleep. We knew the rest of the world would react this way, and we're ready. As my old man used to say, you can't make a shite pie without blocking a few toilets.
Thank you, Prime Minister.
Reassuring words there.
We'll be back.
After these messages.
1 minute back.
Hey, Peter.
Hey, we're doing good.
Fancy a quick 9?
Yeah, sure.
Hey, Best Accords, welcome back. How you doing today, my friendo?
Megan Wolf for me.
She's out of your league, mate.
Thank you.
How are you doing today?
Well, you have to be more careful.
It's all part of his long-term plan to get fired live on the news at 6 in front of the nation.
Can someone warn him it's going a little too well?
Segment grade A, I'll take that. Hey, Bozeman. Oh. Government censorship.
Same as regular censoring. Keep an eye out for the advanced blue waveform.
Ooh. Would you miss not really a ton so far? We just went through the first segment. They're just talking about sanctions.
Foreign royalty.
Apparently the government's sanctioning stuff.
Hang on. Have they given you the Crown Prince report?
Oh, well, now I get to choose, do I want to censor things for the government?
Yo, thanks for having me on your show, man.
It's quite alright.
I mean,
Ask me about the chimp, are you?
I don't know, I've been a good worker so far.
I'm just saying.
But then again, I haven't really seen anything like that I really want to censor.
Welcome back.
I knew it was going to go to her.
Later, we have an exclusive first.
Always
look
goes
at
to
the
one
theatrical
first, I think.
sensation everyone's going to be talking about. But first, it's time to go over to the culture spot with lovely old Jeremy Donaldson, who's joined by a very special guest. Jeremy.
Thanks, Megan. I have the honour and privilege of being joined by hip-hop royalty. He's been called the son of the streets and the father of truth.
The father of truth, I like
not
it.
sure how that works, but whatever. Let's welcome Jesus.
Yo, Jesus!
Thanks, Jeremy. Yeah, it's a real honor to be here on your show, The News. You know, as a kid on the streets, I used to watch you through a window of the shop, so to be here right now is crazy.
You've had quite the journey to be here today. Can you tell us about it?
Well, you know, I try not to, well, you know, the past is the past, and I don't like to dwell on it.
I understand you.
But yeah, man, the streets is all I remember. Like, my mother donated me to a charity shop soon after I was born. Elderly lady took pity on me. You know, she let me sleep on a pile of crime fiction until I taught myself how to walk.
Wow, that's...
Yeah, that's kind of badass, I guess.
And she died tragically.
Oh,
right there
how
in
so?
my arms, man.
No, that's pretty shitty.
You know, I remember a tear falling as she lay there next to the used homeware. And in that moment, I became a child of the streets. I was just 18 months old.
What a tale. What a tale.
What a tale indeed.
You're known for your direct and honest lyrics. Was your style informed by your troubled past?
Well, like I said, I try not to talk about it. It's just too hard.
Ah, Jesus,
But
no.
My first album is about the story of the first 4 times I stole, so I wouldn't starve. A small group of infants came to see me as their de facto leader. They call me Mr. Cheese Slice.
Alright.
Like a family.
So it would seem.
Oh, it tossed it.
Recently, you've been quite outspoken about the government.
Yeah, fuck the government. Fuck Advance. Fuck Peter Clement.
What is it that you object to so vehemently?
I'm not gonna censor that stuff.
They're taking our money and spending it, man.
Redistributing it. Actually, homelessness has been all but eliminated.
So I like Jesus. If he's against the government, then so am I. Fucking Vance.
Cause close to your heart?
Yeah, nah, of course, man, very much so. I just mean, like, why do I have to pay for it, you know?
You don't. People have been rehoused on property seized from the historically wealthy. And that couldn't have been you, could it?
Look, yeah, I worked hard to be here. I built this from nothing, and I deserve to be rewarded for that.
Would you say you worked harder than, say, a farmer or a care worker?
I don't know. But if people are taking something from my music, choose to value it, buy it, who's to say I don't? And no one can take that away from me.
Not even to help, say, vulnerable children? Mr. Cheese Slice.
What is it you're trying to say?
I just don't understand where you've placed yourself politically. I mean, is it ideological or is it tactical?
Nah, I'm kind of curious too.
Maybe it's hereditary.
Stop trying to tie me in knots with your words, Jeremy. I let the music speak for itself. And the people agree with me.
Well, that remains to be seen. But you have given me a very easy segue out of a conversation that I promise you was much more painful for me than it was for you. So here he is with his hit song, Mrs. Ludlow's Tears.
Oh no, I'm going to do something a little different. It's a new single I've been working on.
Oh, so this is unapproved, is it?
Yeah, you love it.
Excellent. Don't worry, we've got a state-of-the-art censorship system. What's the worst that could happen? So here is a new song. Aren't we lucky? It's Jesus!
First, you're gonna pay up. You're gonna pay back.
Well, we're all different races from many different places. At any given moment, only one could be the greatest. So you can feel elation from your participation. Still too.
There's so much music in this game. It's really interesting.
Now we're getting sanctioned, talking about expansion. Why does Julius require a massive fucking mansion? So fuck all your schemes. I don't need your freaky team, and I don't need your help to achieve my fucking dreams. So don't make a fuss when you find you're one of us. Yeah, every single one of you's a bit Jesus. And you can call me crazy, cause no one ever pays me. But I won't waste a lifetime being motherfucking lazy. I may be inventive, my taste may be expensive, but why would I get out of bed with no fucking incentive? Although it's contravention of your obvious intention, I like to eat a little of the fruits in my invention. You make us the same, but we're not all the same. All our dreams, all our schemes, all our means are not the same. The best of the praise, of the crest of the wave, cause we're only equal people when we're motherfucking slaves. Take this fact, gonna stain it red, gonna slam it into Peter Clemens' motherfucking head, cause he's thick as shit, he's got a job he's unfit for. It's time to stone a castle with
Okay,
a motherfucking
alright.
pitchfork.
Yeah, no, I can't censor the man.
So this is for the snub ones, the push and the
I can't do it. I can censor his naughty words, but I can't censor his actual, you know, anti-government stuff. Advance may not believe in free speech, but fuck, I do.
There's all sorts of people, the good and the evil. It only takes a glance to see we're not all equal. You make us the same, but we're not all the same. All our dreams, all our schemes, all our means are not the same. And the best of the praise, of the crest of the waves, cause we're only equal people when we're motherfucking slaves. Gonna take this fact, gonna stain it red, gonna slam it into Peter Clemens' motherfucking head, cause he's thick as shit, he's got a job he's unfit for. Time to stone a castle with a motherfucking pitchfork. Get out of your seats, get your asses in the streets, set a fire in the building, let him feel some fucking heat. Say you hate to go getters, you're squilling betters, and burn them on the powers of advances fucking letters. Gonna take his facts, gonna stain it red, gonna slam it into Peter Clemens' motherfucking head, cause he's thick as shit, he's got a job he's unfit for. Time to stone a castle with a motherfucking pitchfork. Chase that.
Why is this so good, dude? Why is it so good at making music?
As harmless as it seems, cause they're stale and corrupt. Then you're angry, corrupt. Then your hearts and your minds and your fists to destruct.
All right.
Jesus there. With
Not bad.
his new song. Thank you so much for joining us in this.
I know I'm gonna get a bad rating probably,
I'm sorry.
but
I may not agree with you, but I'd just like to offer you an apology.
you know,
I've just been told that there was some kind of issue
because of
upstairs,
music.
and an attempt was
Then
made
the
to censor
fucking
what?
censoring his lyrics governmentally.
Say to you and
Like his,
everyone on
yeah.
Island that this was a mistake.
This is absolutely ridiculous. I cannot believe this.
Here at the National Nightly News, we pride ourselves on remaining neutral, unbiased, and independent of any outside interference. You have my word. We will never censor ideas. Back to you, Megan.
Well, a bit of dangerous language there. Sorry about that.
I don't know. Maybe I should censor it anyway. I don't know if there's like a way to do different endings or not. That I'm not too sure of.
To a couple of familiar faces about their upcoming dramatic outing. Don't go away. We'll be right back after this.
That's the ad.
Jenny, this is fucking outrageous.
Thank you so much. If you could just come with me.
No, this is ridiculous. Who do I complain to?
This is just a mix-up, I'm sure. Now, if you come with me, I really do have to ask
Oh,
you to
trust
leave
me.
it.
My father's going to hear about this.
I understand.
Sports board, the board game.
I don't know what you're talking about, Jeremy.
Yeah, segment grade C. Yeah, probably because I didn't censor that much. I don't know. Maybe I should censor it anyway. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if that's. I don't know if I have a choice in this or not.
Look at him.
If we could just get you in position.
Oh, say no more. Say no more.
Jeremy.
I feel like they must have gotten a professional rapper there. That was good. That was good. Yeah.
And this is Ms. Raiden.
I could see them getting someone professional to do that. Because it did really sound good. They sound like, yeah, he sounded really good.
Isn't it? Right, okay then. We're going live in 10 seconds, opening on camera 1.
Alright, opening on camera 1.
5,
4, 3.
Welcome back, and no, you're not mistaken. Sitting across from us are some very familiar faces.
You really are too kind, Megan. It was only a yogurt commercial, but I'm still proud of it.
Here to talk about his new show, we're joined by national treasure Tommy Harris, the National Theatre's Philippa Rain, and National Deficit Jeff Algebra.
It's so lovely to have you all. Tommy, would you like to tell us about the show?
You know what? I'd bloody love to. It's about me. It's about my life.
And where did the idea come from?
So, right, picture this. Their legs akimbo, mid-session,
Legs
sweat
akimbo,
is pouring
right.
out of me like an immense hog. And then Cindy comes in, she says, Pete's on the phone.
That's Peter Clement, the Prime Minister.
Yeah, Pete's actually a really good mate of mine.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah, no, he comes to training sometimes. He's actually a pretty good goal sweeper. Anyway, so, Pete, he says, Toby, he thinks my name's Toby, see? He says, how would you like to spread your message of team spirit and cooperation across this fractured nation? How would you like to really make a difference?
Alright, sorry about that game. I thought I still had time. Apparently not.
So, Jeff, the question on everyone's lips is, what in God's name are you doing here?
Well, after the success of my debut work and all the people that I've touched, I knew that I had a career in theatre. Yeah? I've always been an admirer of Tommy from afar. So when my manager phoned and said I'd been offered the gig as director, I was ecstatic. I whipped my trousers off and got straight to work.
Why did you do that?
I do all my best work with my trousers off.
Yeah, I've been told that too.
No, I wouldn't say so.
Right, Tommy, sorry, would you just give us a sense of what the show is actually about?
It's about how hard it's been for me and some of the struggles.
Okay, there we go. Okay, I think we're getting
like,
it.
Really get into the heart of.
I'm not gonna get a good rating again at the end of this, am I?
I call it Tommy Harris. Jesus, that was hard.
Catchy. We actually have some clips of the process of the show. Would you mind telling us what's going on here?
Yeah, so the show is built around two things that are very important to me. It mixes scenes from my life as well as epic fantasy retellings of scenes from my life.
But Dad, you promised you'd come to my graduation.
I'm sorry, son. You're an embarrassment.
But Dad, you promised you'd come to my graduation.
Back, demon! Back to the hells!
2-3 seconds.
Philip,
Okay.
What's it been like?
Never mind, we're good.
Co-starring with Tommy Harris.
I've always dreamed of treading the boards at medium-scale regional theatres, Megan. And for once, this show really gives me something to sink my teeth into.
What's different about this show, then?
Tommy, Mr. Harris's show really lets me show my tremendous range.
Okay, I'm just gonna keep it on here for a little bit.
I've always suffered from
Then I'm gonna swap it to 3.
To play the same tired characters in every god-awful yogurt advert or godforsaken soap opera or
And swap it to 3 for a few seconds.
But, you know, this show has really let me just go there.
Jeff, the viewers at home will be dying to know exactly what is it that you bring to the show.
Oh, good question. I think these guys would agree with me when I say that
My dog's really barking.
steady hand.
Oh, I know why that would be.
My arm
Okay.
round the shoulder approach
Never mind.
that's really brought
I think Megan just got home.
strength.
Absolutely right. Jeff's contributions are immeasurable. He was our rock.
Can you give us a sneak peek of anything else that might be in the show?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yep. We've got lots of exclusive first-hand experiences of Tommy's time in the underground sports board scene.
And some epic fantasy retellings of Tommy's time in the underground sports board scene.
Yeah, actually, we did see Tommy in Sports Board that one time, didn't we?
You'll never take the sacred path!
And am I right in saying this was officially commissioned by the government?
Yeah, all paid for by the taxpayer, which, you know, to be honest, was actually a lifesaver, really.
I think it's fair to say that without Advance's support, we'd have had to cut the finale.
Which frankly would have been a travesty.
Oh, God, Jesus Christ!
Oh. You know what? That actually looks pretty good, all things considered.
It's a metaphor.
For what?
Death.
And the public are footing the bill, are they?
Too bloody right they are. Between the cost of my tour bus and the dry cleaning of my ties, I'm barely scraping a profit here.
Amazing. And where can the folks at home come and see this for themselves?
We're performing all over the nation.
And people can see it for absolutely free, all courtesy of Advance. Isn't that incredible, Jeremy?
Well, TY Advanced, I guess.
Unbelievable.
Well, thank you all so much for coming. Next time we see you, no doubt you'll have taken our jobs.
Yeah.
That's all we have time for tonight. Join us tomorrow when I'll be interviewing the world's most attractive horse. I'm Jeremy Donson.
And I'm Megan Wolf. And from all of us here, have a peaceful night.
That's the ads. Let's get reset for tomorrow, please.
Hey, we must stop bumping into each other like this, eh?
Okay, we got Crazy Neils in.
Oh.
Segment grade B, I mean, that's not too bad, you know. That's pretty alright, all things considered. You'd be interested in seeing that, dude? Me too. I let Crazy Neil go, dude. Where's my elephant? Where's my elephant? Love that Simpsons episode. Dude, Crazy Garden Gnomes with glasses? That's my favorite. Oh, that's a good deal right there. Alright, A, C, B, average B, that's alright. Give me more info. All offensive words are censored, an interference-free show, an exceedingly poor edit once again. You played one ever too late, I did do that. Advance angered by content. I mean, sorry Advance, but I want to censor the people, my dude. Is it your full wages? Alright. Still broke ass poor. The love of Advance is going down a little bit. So let's check out the rushes for the silence. I don't know how much there would have been for segment 1. I'm not real too sure. You heard of Midsummer? Not sure if you want a Midsummer deal. I see. I see what you did there.
A bit of a switcheroo. It'll be Jeremy in the culture chair.
She's not your enemy.
News.
That's the titles.
I'm gonna go check my makeup.
I think there was someone to do it for you.
She's not your enemy.
Is it you then?
No, it's Bannon. He's been sending coded messages to Bozeman after every show.
Of course, it's the only credible solution.
You must be very disappointed.
Yes, until now I thought of him as a son I'd never had.
I prefer you like this.
Going in 10 seconds.
What did I miss?
Sorry I snapped at you.
5,
Alright.
4, 3.
First tonight, thankfully, some news as we return to our main story.
The world.
I'll go through this a little bit.
Of this country.
Well, joining us is Ivan Vodovich, Foreign Minister of Urkistan. Ivan, thank you.
Yeah, I think this is pretty normal right up until the end. It's most of the Jesus stuff that's probably going to be interesting. Apart from like the end of the segment, of course. Guess we'll mute those ones.
Careful.
He's out of your league, mate.
Thank you.
Oh no! Yeah, there would have been stuff at the very end too, wouldn't there?
We'll be back.
After these messages.
1 minute back.
Hey, Peter, I over your way this weekend. You fancy a quick 9?
Yeah, sure, front or back.
That's what I hope you're asking Megan Wolf for me.
Oh.
She's out of your league, mate.
Thank you for the correction.
Well, you have to be more careful.
It's all part of his long-term plan to get fired live on the news at 6 in front of the nation.
Can someone warn him it's going a little too well?
You know, is there a UK rapper called Jay Huss, really? I mean, it could have been him. It could have been him as like a little kind of reference to himself, I guess. That'd be kind of neat. Could have just been a parody, though, yeah. I don't know. Well, I'd be curious to find out. 'Cause, I mean, Jesus does kind of sound like Jay Huss, right?
Are you still meant to bow to foreign royalty?
What?
Should I just like curtsy?
Hang on. Have they given you the Crown Prince report?
What?
Megan?
Oh.
Jeremy, he'll be interviewing you.
Has Megan been sucking up to Boss? Well, to the Boss.
All right.
AKA Bozeman, I guess.
Ask me about the chimp, are you?
Live in 10 seconds.
Because he put that get up on himself. I'm just saying.
Going in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome.
Welcome back, I'm Megan Wolf. I can go up to 16 plus. I guess I always, for some reason, just thought it went to 8. Don't know why. Okay, so now it probably won't be until the song's over. Oh, wow.
And an attempt was made to censor some of your lyrics.
What? Are you joking?
I'd just like to say to you at home that this was a mistake.
This is absolutely ridiculous. I cannot believe this.
Here at the National Nightly News, we pride ourselves on remaining neutral.
Dude, yeah, Megan looks really
unbiased,
concerned.
And independent of any outside interference. You have my word. We will never censor ideas. Back to you, Megan.
Well, a bit of dangerous language there. Sorry about that. Well, thank you to little Jeremy Donaldson for providing our coverage.
Little Jeremy Donaldson,
Coming up, we'll
ooh.
be speaking to
Yeah, she's
couple
becoming more of a
familiar
bitch.
faces about their upcoming dramatic outing. Don't go away. We'll be right back after this.
That's the ads.
Jenny, this is fucking outrageous.
Thank you so much. If you could just come with me.
No, this is ridiculous. Who do I complain to?
This is just a mix-up, I'm sure. Now, if you come with me, I really do have to ask
Oh,
you to
trust
leave
me.
it.
My father's going to hear about this.
I understand. This is unbelievable, Megan.
I don't know what you're talking about, Jeremy.
Interesting stuff, interesting stuff. Hey there, Jojo. Welcome back to stream. How you doing today? Hopefully everything's been alright with you. But yeah, no, it's gone alright, thank you. But earlier today, my stomach was giving me a little bit of a weird feeling. It seems to be a bit better now, though. But otherwise, yeah, it's been going well, thank you. What have you been up to? Hopefully you had some fun Thanksgiving plans. And if you're wondering what kind of game this is, you are someone in charge of broadcast. So you like switch between the monitors and censor language and stuff.
Oh, here we go.
And this kind of takes place in, I guess, an alternate UK, where it's much more authoritarian. It's really cool, honestly. It's really, really cool game, really interesting. Also, I'd say it's even more because of UK drill, which is similarly controversial, really. See, Jojo says, doing okay, glad to be here. How are you and the game going? Thanksgiving was a bust, but that's okay. I'm sorry to hear it's a bust. What happened? Could you just not go? Were you not able to go anywhere due to COVID, or something to do with family, or what? If you don't mind sharing, of course. I don't want to pry too much. But yeah, the game's going well. Thank you.
Stop it.
Look at him.
If we could just get you in position.
Oh, say no more.
If you're wondering what I'm doing, by the way, this is kind of like after you're done with one of the sections of the game. You can have a look at the rushes and just kind of see what you missed behind the scenes.
Oh, say no more.
I kind of like doing that because I find it interesting.
Remember Mr. Algebra
Vividly.
and Mr. Harris, and this is Ms. Raiden.
What?
Philippa, please.
We're back together again, eh? Who'd have thought it?
Perhaps a lower order demon.
Yes, it is awfully exciting, isn't it?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay then, we're going live in 10 seconds.
See family stuff, and unfortunately I had to put my sister's cat down. I'm really sorry to hear that. That's really sad.
5, 4, 3.
Honestly, I'm getting a bit worried about one of my dogs. I'm gonna be honest with you. One of my dogs doesn't really seem like she's doing too well. So I'm a little concerned. I will say that we're gonna see though, and I'll keep you guys updated, of course. But I don't know. One of my dogs just doesn't seem to be doing all that great. I'm kind of worried that she might have diabetes or something. But like I said, I'll keep you guys updated for sure.
And I'm Megan Wolf, and from all of us here.
It's okay. I'm glad he isn't suffering. Yeah, of course not. You don't want the animal to suffer, right? Loved him quite a lot, though, but I'm sorry to hear about your dog, Frag. Oh, it's alright. Like I said, I'm hoping for the best with my dog. Well, one of my dogs. But, yeah, we'll just have to see. Like I said, I'll keep you guys updated on that as well. And I don't mean to... I'm sorry, Jojo. I realize now that I'm saying this, it might seem like I'm trying to steer it away from the sadness of your sister's cat having to be put down and making it about me. I'm sorry. I know you're not gonna assume that, but I just realized in my head it's like, oh well, geez, I'm kind of making it about me and my dog now. Nah, it's just yeah, I just kind of know what it feels like. Well, I've had to put dogs down before, unfortunately. I mean, you know, when you're as old as I am, 29. And you've had dogs throughout your whole life, eventually you're gonna find, you're gonna put at least a couple of them down, you know? Yeah, so, yeah, looks like we'll just see. Would cats be more peaceful with that sort of thing? With being, like, put down? I'm not too sure. I feel like, depending on what it is, now, anybody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like when it comes to that, I feel like the animal just kind of knows, right? Like, the pet would just kind of know. Like, I know when I had to put one of my dogs down how many years ago would that have been? Oh, that was a while ago. I think it was maybe like 4 or 5 years ago. You know, normally if he were out and he would have, like, been barking at people or, you know, not wanting to be touched by other people. But when he got in the vet, you know, and when he was being taken down, he was actually very calm and peaceful. Man, yeah, no, that was hard. Yeah, it's always hard losing a pet, you know? Always hard losing a pet. You know, as a matter of fact, I didn't put a webcam on for this because I'm talking for about real stuff right now. We'll get back to the game in a moment, I promise. But yeah, no, that stuff's always hard. Yeah, it's always hard to lose a pet. Can I ask what your sister's cat had? Because I assume if you put the cat down, then there was probably some sort of ailment, right? If you don't mind me asking, once again, I don't really want to pry or bring up anything. Excuse me, too sad. And of course, yeah, I don't know if I read this out already, but yeah, Bass Secret says, yeah, I know that what it feels like too with my dog. Yeah, no, it's really sad. See, it's kind of like a curse to have pets in a way. Because they're never, unless you get like a parrot or something, you're gonna outlive probably the vast majority of them. Like I said, I'm probably gonna have dogs with me throughout the vast majority of my life. Which means I'm gonna have a lot of little furry friends that I'm eventually gonna lose. It's kind of sad to think about. Like, I have all my little buddies, like, right here, all my dogs. And it's hard to even think what life would be like without any of them. Right? Is it weird that I just find movies like Marley and Me to be deeply troubling in the way it frames that kind of sadness? I'm not really too sure. Admittedly, I've never seen Marley and Me. Because I know if I watched it, it's going to emotionally destroy me for, like, a while. So I haven't actually watched it yet. I should watch it one day. I think Megan actually has a copy. I think I've seen the movie, like that movie amongst her movies when she was moving in. So I'm not really too sure. Let's see. Jojo says he was quite a large cat, and I'm not sure if that had anything to do with it, but his liver failed. His heart couldn't keep up. He was only 8. Oh, man, that sucks. That is really sad. Yeah, sometimes that kind of stuff just happens, eh? Like, one of my other dogs, a long time ago, long time ago, maybe like 8. I don't think it would have been about 10 years. I think it maybe would have been like 8 years ago. Just kind of had something happen to him one day, and I'm pretty sure it was probably his kidneys. Because he always had, I don't know if there's a correlation to it, but he always had, like, bladder problems. And I just kind of feel like one day his kidneys gave out, and he just kind of, not slowly, but over the course of, like, a couple days, you could tell just something was wrong until he eventually, like, passed away. It was really sad. Yeah, sometimes that stuff just happens, right? It's really sad. Really, really sad. One of my relatives had a St. Bernard that lived to like 17 or 18. Wow, that's really impressive for a St. Bernard. That's amazing. That's really old. For a big dog like that, that's impressive. Liver problem, which is absolutely insane for a dog that large. Yeah, exactly, right? That is crazy. That is really crazy. That's the exact reason I haven't watched it either. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's stuff with animals. It's like, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see, like, I could watch pretty much anything, right? I could watch pretty much anything. And I'd probably be, like, fairly happy watching it. With a movie that's focused on, like, an animal, like, I don't know, that gets to me pretty hard. Right. I'm trying to think of what other movies that I would have seen with dogs or refused to watch because they're like animals in it. I can't really think of anything. Marley and Me is probably the main one that I can think of. I mean, yeah, but it's like cheap. I remember watching Pay It Forward and being disgusted. Well, with the sadness that Marley and Me brings, I am not sure. I guess I can kind of see what you mean, yeah, if it's like kind of a cheap sadness, I assume is what you're kind of saying. Because it's really easy to make people sad when you have an animal die, right? Man, that's upsetting. I don't like Charlotte's Web either, though. I actually did like Charlotte's Web. That is one that I was able to watch as a kid, for sure. I don't know, I like Charlotte's Web. Personally, but it was sad. It really did make me sad. Hope you don't say Milo and Otis. Oh boy, yeah, we don't go talking about Milo and Otis. I'm pretty sure that movie, from what I remember, had a lot of fucked up things happen behind the scenes. But I've also never seen that movie either. I used to see commercials for it all the time because I used to watch this movie called Homeward Bound, which, if you haven't seen it, is about these two dogs and this cat who I think somehow get lost. I don't remember quite what the story is, but they somehow get lost and they need to find their owners. And so they travel through woods and everything. That was a good movie. I liked it anyway. I don't know if it was a good movie. I haven't seen it since I was a kid, but I remember it being a good movie. That one I don't remember having really anything too sad in it. Not really. But yeah, that was a good movie. So I think Milo and Otis, I want to say some commercials were on that VHS. I don't remember, to be honest. Charlotte's Web is really well written, though. I don't feel like it's a cheap tactic there. Personally, I get it, though. Well, no, yeah, it is really sad. And it is well written, for sure. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen Charlotte's Web in years either. What are some other movies that I can think of? Shit, what are some movies? What's a movie that, like, gets to me with, like, animals? Oh, there's so many. My mom I'm gonna tell you this right now. My mom refuses to ever watch Bambi. My mom refuses to watch Bambi. She always tells me. She actually got mad at me once for really trying to not push her, but for really trying to suggest that she watches Bambi. Because she told me when she was a little girl, her mom took her to the theater to watch Bambi. And when spoilers that I'm sure everybody knows by now, spoilers when Bambi's mom gets shot and killed. Apparently, my mom couldn't handle it and just started crying and absolutely crying to the point where my grandma had to take her out of the theater and back home. And my mom says ever since that day, she's never wanted to see Bambi and she will never watch Bambi. She will absolutely never watch Bambi because of that scene. Like, that actually traumatized her, I guess. I remember the firestorm that happened with A Dog's Purpose that was similar with Milo's and Otis. Oh, really? And Show Dogs isn't that kind of movie, but it had to be pulled from theaters. Really? That's interesting. Yeah.
Have a peaceful night.
That's the
I don't know, man.
get reset for
That kind of stuff
today.
just makes me sad. If you want to get me to cry, show me something with an animal.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, what was that? Wait, what was that? Did he give something to him? Wait, hold on.
Oh.
Oh.
No, he didn't. Or did he? Did he give something to that guy? I don't know. Now I'm starting to wonder, because he's looking down at his hand. Like there was something in there. Maybe I'm just reading it. Maybe I'm just looking into it a bit too much. I guess let's go and watch the adverts that we didn't get to see. Wow, there's a lot of them. Jesus. Now, we did see Crazy Summer Solstice. What's Moob's project? I guess it's not gonna leave my face on for a little bit.
I'm multi-billionaire Sophia Remington, and you wish you could be me. Recently, I put an idea to my science guys, and they said it couldn't be done. So I fired those guys, and I got myself some new ones. And today, I'm pleased to announce that we, at Remington's Fist, have come up with a solution to a problem all globe hoppers share.
Remington's Fist.
Jeez. I love our foreign vacations, Janet, but I just hate flying.
I know what you mean, Brad. It takes so long and it can be pretty scary.
Well, let's face it, it's pretty inefficient, Janet, going all the way around the planet. There has to be a better way.
Don't worry, young professionals. Now there is. Why go around our beautiful planet when you can go straight through it?
Ah.
A system of mass transit elevators running through the center of the Earth. Now you're thinking.
I mean, that's actually kind of an interesting idea if it were
My
possible.
mobile orientation operational burrowing service will change the way you travel forever.
I'm pretty sure it's not.
And construction has already begun.
You know, that may even be dangerous to the planet.
And
Who
when
knows?
they tell me it can't be done, I make it happen even faster.
Interesting idea, though. I'll give it that. See, Moob's Project, aka Thanksgiving Everyday Diet. Oh boy. Alright, so what's Camp Busy Fingers?
Hi,
That's another
I'm
Remington's
Sophia
Fist.
Remington, and I'm extremely unmarried. But that doesn't mean I don't care about families. We all know children are important for our retirement.
True.
But let's face it, sometimes the little monsters can be a bit of a handful. But don't trust me, I haven't spawned. Let's listen in on a couple of genuine real parents.
Janet, Wait, what happened to you?
It's the children, Brad. I'd never say this in public, but sometimes I just want to kick their little faces in.
Every night, I dream of choking the last tiny breath out of little Frankie.
Oh,
When I
okay.
wake up,
That took a very sudden turn.
there has to be a better way.
That took a very sudden
And now
turn.
there is. Now there is a fun place where you can send your children for a vacation, and we'll even pay you for the privilege.
Oh, wow.
This looks complicated, doesn't it? I thought only a master tailor would be able to make one of these. But it turns out even a stupid child can do it. And with Camp Busy Fingers...
Oh, it's
they
like a
do
sweatshop?
every day. I'm Sophia Remington, and although I'll never be stupid enough to breed, I'll always offer hope to those who do.
Alright. Interesting. Okay, well, yeah, I want to know more about the Flard Master 5000, please. It's another Remington's Fist commercial?
I'm Sophia Remington, CEO of Remington's Fist, and I'm so excited to be able to tell you about our newest product. Everybody loves Flards. After all, from holding your house up to keeping your bills down, there really seems to be no limit to their uses. But there is a problem. Hey, Brad, I brought you some new Flards. Hey, what's up? You seem sad, Brad.
You know I love working with Flards, Janet. But sometimes they can be a bit fiddly to get in place.
What is a Flard?
That sounds bad, Brad. There has to be a better way. And now there is.
Oh!
This bad boy is the Flard Master 5000.
I see.
Don't worry, the safety catch is on. Otherwise, it could quite literally take out a rib. Just point it at the target, set the 15 dials, and pull the trigger, and it'll punch a Flard right through the
I
goddamn
love
wall.
how they look in the background there. That's really
Whether
good.
you're engineering a rescue craft, a bit of home improvement, or just helping your kids out with their homework, if you can't get by without Flards, you need the Flard Master 5000. Thank goodness it's available in all reputable stores.
Alright. Let's see, what's Bass Ackford say here? I remember reading that if you could do that, you can get to anywhere in 47-ish minutes, but the interesting thing that no matter how long the distance from straight to the opposite part of the Earth, to just 500 kilometers, it takes the same time. In terms of calculating the time with the gravitational pull and all that. Okay, that's pretty cool. Anywhere in 47-ish minutes, huh? That's pretty good. Yeah, I don't know. If that... I'm sure one day it'll probably happen. Yeah, just like how we'll have, like, space elevators and stuff. Yeah, honestly, I think space elevators is a really cool idea. I'm sure I'll see at least one of them in my lifetime, maybe. I guess it depends. I don't know. I always thought it was a cool idea. Responsibility, huh? I do like my responsibility.
Hi, I'm Sophia Remington, CEO of Remington's Fist, and I haven't had children. Not yet, anyway. But it doesn't take a parent to tell you that what a child needs is to be wanted and loved. Sadly, however, these days, this sort of conversation happens far too often.
Remington's Fist.
So, you know, Brad, this past fortnight has really been amazing, but I'm afraid I have something to tell you. I'm pregnant.
But how can that be? You told me you were on the pill.
Not all contraception is 100% reliable. So
I mean, that
guess
is
now we
true.
have to get married.
But we've only been on 5 dates. I
Oh.
don't even know you, Julie.
Janet.
Marriage and children seem to be a pretty big decision to make in a wine bar, Janet.
There has to be
To be a better way.
Now there is, young lovers. Now you can be doubly safe with these. This is responsibility.
Oh, it's responsibility.
No
Oh.
contraceptive pill. Now men don't have to worry about difficult things like commitment anymore. In our almost entirely successful human trials, we found that there were only occasional side effects. So I'm allowed to say they're safe to take. Responsibility. Because children shouldn't be by accident. And let's face it, condoms suck.
Alright. Fortnite is canon and not for broadcast universe, dude. I feel like one day, we're gonna get a skin of Mr. Snugglehugs, dude, or Mrs. Snugglehugs. I could see that. I could see that being a thing. So, rationing, huh?
Here at Advance, We know you're worried about the future. This territory is changing fast, and that makes other countries uncomfortable. But that won't stop us. And we intend to make sure that in these challenging times, every citizen gets their fair share of the abundant, nutritious food we grow right here in the territory. Your entitlements book will be coming to you by post in the next few days, and it will let you claim enough food for the week, every week, at one of our many new distribution centers. Everyone will get their fair share, and no one will be left behind.
Oh, is that a cupcake? I was gonna say, what kind of food is that? But I guess it's a cupcake.
Enjoy life and make wonderful memories. Because we've shown our international friends what's possible when we all pool our resources and come together in a sense of team spirit. So don't worry about what the rest of the world thinks. Save your concern for those around you, your family, friends, and neighbors, and have confidence that the team will keep you safe from all the rest. Advance. Let's keep on setting a shining example together.
Thanks, Advanced. Dude, cupcakes are the best, man. Cupcakes, for me, dude, cupcakes and sugar cookies are just, like, so good, dude. I don't know, I have a big soft spot for sugar cookies, I'm not gonna lie. So what the hell is this?
Tired of dull and lifeless hair?
Why does her face look kind of fucked up?
Brittle split ends? Then say hello to acid gastrique.
Why does her face look kind of fucked up?
Vitamin formula is a deep fortifying, intensive treatment that repairs and protects.
Oh, because I guess it's supposed to be like acid.
Only acid gastrique contains an organic blend of ingredients that penetrate deep into your hair, breaking down citrulline and glycogen for hair that looks and feels healthier. Acid gastrique nourishes from root to tip for 8 times the strength of other brands.
I feel really rude.
And shampoo is recommended.
I feel like I'm judging her for her appearance, but I'm not. I just wasn't expecting this.
Acts fast, repairing damage and strengthening strands for hair that's truly unbreakable. Rapid repair and protect. Deep and nourishing, intensely strengthening Pro V formula. The irresistible, healthy looking great hair days that make you say, look at my hair. Look at my hair. Acid gastrique. Because you have to.
Alright. Hydrogen monoxide, the gastric acid. Oh boy. Oh yeah, I guess it is what they're kind of trying to imply with that, isn't it? Acid, gastric acid. Alright. Well, I want to get away from that, and I want to watch Sports Board, the board game, because I do like Sports Board. I don't even know how it's played, but I don't think anybody does. Ooh!
Catch the egg, name that fish, keep the bucket! Wait, is that? Yes, it's the poise noise!
The poise noise.
Oh, you know what that means? Put on the shame.
Ah, the shame hat.
We win your kids.
Oh.
Sorry, they're ours now. Forget that.
Okay, I see.
Board games. The sports board game is the only game your family is gonna want to play.
Yeah, same. Let's see, I checked and apparently they recalculated it as 38 minutes and 11 seconds. Oh wow, dude, okay. Oof, did Advance help make this? Probably. It's kind of fucked up, so probably. Alright, so I guess that's it for the ads then. Alright, let's continue. I assume it's gonna take us through... Oh wait, I should probably turn my webcam off now. Boop. There you go. Don't want my face getting in the way of all of the cool video that we're probably about to see. Dude, living in a paradise, awfully nice. Do 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 do. Day 242, a ladder worth climbing. It's a lazy Sunday afternoon in summer, with you and Sam making the most of both kids being out of the house. You head into the pantry, taking a moment to remember when it used to be your mother's room, before coming out with the last 2 slices of homemade cake. It's rare for you and Sam to actually get to finish sweet things in this house, and you savor every mouthful. Just as you take your last bite, you hear the sound of the front door slamming. That'll be Charlie, back from the Go-Getters. Yeah, because we let him go to the Go-Getters. I kind of regret that now. You can hear him practically running to come find you, and he's grinning from ear to ear when he finally does. I have some really big news. You and Sam play along, sitting attentively with bated breath. Ready? Charles asks, as you both nod enthusiastically. With a flourish, he reveals a new badge from his pocket and proudly presents it to you both to examine, as he announces, "As of today, I'm a member of the first tier of Cohesion Cadets. There's no more stuff I'm gonna be doing, and I'll be working some weeks. Oh wait, there's way more stuff I'm gonna be doing, and I'll be working some weekends, but it's really cool." Sam congratulates Charlie as you can't help but frown. This seems a big step up for teenagers. You and Sam grin back at your son. You're thrilled that he's happy and doing well. I mean, that's kind of the thing, right? I guess I'm gonna be happy for him. I did kind of encourage him to do this after all. Alright, day 278. A sign of things to come. Well, this sounds really ominous. Oh, is this in my car? Nice. Shopping. Something that always seemed so tedious before the sanctions has become even more of a chore now. You managed to get almost everything you needed for the family this evening, but you'll have to come back tomorrow to get through the week. There's a queue to leave the car park, though it's hard to make out why in the dark. Hopefully whatever's causing it won't be too long. As the final car in front of you drives off, you realize the queue is actually due to a checkpoint set up at the exit. A friendly-looking man in an advanced uniform, CCO, emblazoned in a number of places on it, approaches your car and knocks on the driver's side window. You roll it down. Good evening. Nothing to worry about. I was just wondering if I could see your team membership card, please. Weren't these cards supposed to be voluntary? I'm sorry, I don't have one. Ah, that's not a problem. We've got forms with us right here. And we're more than happy to sign you up. The man gestures to his colleagues behind him, a young woman in a similar uniform. She clearly received the short end of the stick and is stuck with the paperwork. Well, I suppose I might as well as you're here. I thought these cards weren't required. I mean, yeah, it's kinda... Yeah, I'm gonna go with that one. Well, strictly speaking, they're not. But there's also loads of benefits to having them, and no reason not to get one. His smile fades a bit, and when he puts a hand up to scratch the back of his neck for a moment, he leans over you, his presence now seeming a little intimidating. You make a good point. Sign me up. No thanks, it's not something I want right now. I'm gonna go with that one. Because I don't want it. I think it's a bad idea. Almost instantly, the friendly demeanor is gone and his expression is one of stern disapproval. Well, obviously I can't make you sign up, but I would strongly recommend you do. And soon. We wouldn't want people to think you had anything to hide, would we? He takes a step back and gestures for you to drive on. You're sure you see him writing something down in your rearview mirror as you head home somewhat more hurriedly than before. Clearly, Advance are very keen on everyone joining the team. If I can select it, there you go. Oh god, those headlights are blinding. They are! They should be illegal. An invitation worth ignoring. Day 290. It's a Saturday. One of your few days off, and you've made the most of it. But as late afternoon draws on, the invitation sits pinned to the fridge, staring accusingly at you. The Channel 1 Gala is a mandatory work event, Bozeman was very quick to tell you. Also, don't you dare be late. It's probably not wise to risk Bozeman's wrath. Better go. Or you already missed your anniversary this year. You're not giving up another Saturday. I feel like it's best I go. It's mandatory after all. Best start getting ready. You wonder if Sam will give you a lift. A drink or two might help with the enforced office socializing. Hopefully it won't be too bad. After all, you're pretty good at your job. Right? It's still day 290, a national news night. Hey, it's the gala. You arrive on time, barely at the Sauvignon? One of the oldest and grandest hotels in the capital. You're surprised to see a queue to get in, and quickly realize it's because people are being searched at the door by some very military-looking personnel in smart attire. Well, in smart attire. While you're waiting, you can't help but notice just how very opulent the building is. Probably the fanciest place you've been to in your life. You submit to being patted down, and with a sigh of relief, are let into the hotel. Once inside, you're directed to the grand ballroom, and following the signs, you marvel at the sheer scale of the place, and the amount of armed security guards. When you finally arrive, a very severe-looking woman at the door asks you for your name. I'm Alex Winston. She curtly checks her list before whispering something to the waiter beside her. You've made it just in time to be seated before dinner. Please, follow Emmanuel here to your table. The waiter smiles at you and opens one of the great double doors, gesturing for you to enter. Immediately you can see why it's called the Grand Ballroom. You pause for a second to take it all in. I'm gonna get a quick sip real quick. Ah, nice. You feel a slight tap on your arm, and Emmanuel gestures for you to follow him. He seats you at a table away from the central floor area, half under a set of stairs. Your view of the stage is, at best, partially blocked. Bozeman's definitely not happy with you at the moment. You're sat with some colleagues you've heard of around the Channel 1 offices before, but haven't met. For the most part, they're considered slackers at best, and about to be fired at worst. What category do you fit in? As the evening goes on, you hear Jeremy Donaldson receive an award for outstanding contributions to journalism. You also hear Megan Wolf accepting it on his behalf as he hasn't turned up to the event. Not unusual, apparently. But it's hard for you to tell much from your limited view under the stairs. You also notice a community cohesion officer hovering near your table. They seem as bored to be here as you. A few glasses of, no doubt, very expensive wine later, you see Bozeman speaking to a few specific tables, joined by what looks like Prime Ministers Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement. This is confirmed by an unimpressed nod from the CCO when you ask them, perhaps a little too loudly. Their presence sparks a debate between those at your table about the virtues of both Advance and Disrupt. You espouse how Advance is making the country a better place. You argue in favor of Disrupt and their ideals of freedom. You stay out of the politics. You probably had too much to drink. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Megan might be making a play, honestly. They've really been kind of building her up as kind of the more evil counterpart to Jeremy Donaldson, and I thought it was going to be the opposite, to be honest. See, Bass Backwards also says, I never got the purpose of those champagne glass pyramids. Like, you can't really take a glass without risking the rest falling. True, I guess it's probably just meant to look cool, right? Okay, so do I want to be pro-disrupt? Or do I want to stay out of politics? I mean, I've kind of started to go more towards anti-advanced, but I think it might be a bad idea if I, like, vocalize that. I think I'm gonna argue in favor of disrupt. Part of that is because I like their name. Yeah, I think I might do that. I think we're gonna argue in favor of disrupt and their ideals of freedom. You end up talking and staying later than you thought you would, despite yourself. Sam isn't best pleased when you keep them waiting outside for 20 minutes. But it wasn't an entirely terrible evening in the end. You'd still rather have been at home, though. Maybe you'll skip the next one. 296. We back at work? I think we are.